So I'm rowing in a lake right now. We're heading down to do a little sockeye fishing. I have a couple of professional fishermen with me, probably the two best fishermen I've ever fished with. And so they're going to be laughing at me the whole way through this. They haven't done this kind of fishing before. In fact, what I'll say, and you guys can chime in at some point if you think I have it wrong. On the hierarchy of fishermen, I'm going to start with the nymph fly fishermen, or probably, and maybe I'm wrong, I think that that's the upper echelon. Those guys go out and they'll fish all day, get one bite, catch a fish, and then they have the gall to release it and let it go. Which I know for them, they probably think, oh yeah, I'm all sporting and whatnot.
Well, here, I'll jump in. Right before I came up from Oregon, I was averaging anywhere for an evening float. And the evening float was from 3 to 8 o'clock. Okay? And on an evening float, I was catching and releasing 45 to 70 rainbow trout.
Okay, and so the good news about that is then somebody else can come along the next day and catch them too.
That's right.
And so that's very sporting. And then probably below, and this is where I'm going to need some help, below the nymph fishermen are probably the fly fishermen that throw wet flies and they sink down in the water a little ways. Yeah. And those guys pretty much, by and large, you catch and release, but they might eat one once in a while because they're a little bit lower on the chain of fishermen. Does that sound right?
That sounds right.
Okay, and the next group that I have in there is the spin fishermen. So they don't have bait. And spin fishermen, though, I'll bet you they keep more than they release.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Okay, but they're still going to release some because they're sporting and they wanted to get away, and we'll fight them again tomorrow. Does that sound about right?
That's about right.
Okay, and then below them, we have the bait fishermen. And we can use bait in lots of different ways. You can put it on a spinner, you can put it on a plug, you can put it on lots of different things, but I'm going to lump them all into one big giant category. They use bait. For a nymph fisherman, it's probably cheating. Does that seem about right?
Oh yeah, you never put bait on them, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So that's a little bit cheating. And then below those guys, wow, there's probably 2 or 3 more echelons that I can't think of. And then we're going to get to the flossing fishermen. We're going to be flossing for fish today. You're really not, it's a glorified snagging technique actually. Most of the time they aren't biting. You're trying to get the line to go through their mouth so that you can hook them in the mouth and reel them in and eat them. A flossing fisherman is really just here to put food on the table and fill their freezer. That's all, the whole purpose of flossing. It's not about sport, but it is sport fishing, if you will. Am I doing good so far?
Yeah, great.
Okay. And then there's a little bit of consternation over the next 3 categories. I'm going to say the next category is the dip netters. So dip netters, you got a 5-foot net, you go out, you hold your net in the water, and you wait for fish to swim into it, and then you just pull them in. And dip netters never ever let a fish go. All right, and then below the dip netters, and we're already down in the dirty dogs, right? Below the dip netters are the dynamite fishermen. Dynamite fishermen, you usually do that in a lake. I've never done it, but maybe you guys have.
No.
I think it's done late at night. You throw dynamite in the lake, it blows up, fish float to the top, and you scoop them out with a little butterfly net. It even gets worse than that, I think. Below that are the snaggers. If you go down to Seward, you can use a giant weighted treble hook that's like almost the size of a soup can, the end of a soup can. You chuck it out there with the weight on it, you just give it a yank and give it a yank and give it a yank, and pretty soon, when the fish are in, you're gonna get a fish, and then you're gonna reel it in sideways because you hooked it, under the dorsal fin. It's pretty ugly, but I think that that's probably the lowest on the whole chain of fishermen.
I think so.
Yeah, even below the dynamite fishermen. And I will say, I've been snagging 3 different times, and I've never went when it was smoking hot. I think I've snagged total, legally by the way, I probably snagged less than 6 fish because I've never went when it's good. Maybe next year I'll hit it when it's good because I'm not necessarily afraid of being a dirty dog.
I'm always afraid that they're going to snag me.
Well, and what we're doing today, lots of people get hooked every year. I've been with buddies who, one guy pierced his entire ear. But so people get snagged doing this right here. And so we want to make sure we maintain probably 30 feet or so between people, at least.
If you can keep that.
You'll be able to tell. I mean, when you hear things whizzing by your ear, then it's time to get a little bit further away. All right, so we're gonna head down the river. We're still rowing through the lake. We'll get into the river here pretty soon. It's got a collar on. Clearly that's somebody's pet then, right? I bet they named it Belle. If I had a pet moose, I'd name it Belle. So this is the first place we're going to try. Deciding how much weight that I want on here.
But it was a boot manufacturer there. It's a boot manufacturer thing. I wanted to sell the rubber.
Okay, so this is a 10 weight fly rod and a 10 weight 910 reel. So we're going to get out there and see what happens here. All right, so this is just an experiment to see if this is a decent place. It might not be. Okay, here's our next spot we're going to try. That's a nice one for this river. Now, as a nymph fisherman, are you going to let that fish go?
No.
Okay. Just double checking.
I haven't got any in my box yet.
Yeah, if you gill him and throw him in that net, then I'll just go back and put him on a stringer. Perfect.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Go. Not my fish, but the first fish of the day.
Quick fish after that for, well, not for you. We good there, Rig?
Yep.
Balance wise?
My drift boat, I don't have a fish box underneath, right? So I ran my line so it comes up, I've got it complete right in my groin.
Oh.
So I pull it right here.
Yeah, no, I've seen this.
My back. I'm like, God, they are sweet. You just step on it, out it goes, and when you take your foot off, it stops. They're real sweet.
Step out.
Yeah. They're just, if you start walking out there, you'll see them running. So I was just out there and the fish are running right in here. Yeah, she's warming up now.
You put the jinx on me saying I was a professional fisherman. 14 of them. They're $9.99 regularly.
Oh, here they're like 12 or 13. Probably $12.99 here, I bet you. You guys want lunch? I brought 3 of these things. And I brought an MRE if anybody's that hungry.
It's been a long time since I've been that hungry.
Want me to ease down there while my water's boiling? Here, hold this. Put that on the ground in front of you so that it doesn't tip over. And I'll ease down that way.
Right below that little line of rift.
Because I'm a professional, Ray put the wham dammy on me.
Good strategy on my part, right?
It was. From here to the bank, right? And all they are is...
Watch out. I tell you, all the silvers in there.
Partially because you can carry your tackle there. If you're on this inside belly here, it doesn't drift very well. It pushes it up against the bank. Probably doesn't have a license over there. I think he's got a pretty collar, so he doesn't need a license. Alrighty then.
It's got the same...
Does anybody else want lunch? Do you want me to get more water, or are we good?
I'm good at the moment.
Okay.
He'll probably eat half of it.
I'll eat half of whatever he has.
Okay, so the 2 that are left here, I have beef stew or beef stroganoff with noodles.
Have them fit.
Honestly, it doesn't matter. Beef stroganoff.
Okay. Now, if you professionals don't catch a fish here, I can't tell you how disappointed I'm going to be. You know, that was just to jinx them, right? They are actually really good fishermen. That tastes good. Then again, I'm really, really hungry. Beautiful day to be on the river today.
Putting again.
You can still see water in it. Everything to make coffee or hot water, all in there.
Pale colored.
up. All right, we're gonna beach him here. There's a fish. I don't know what I'm doing.
About time.
It's a double. Everybody likes a double. That's a nice fish. Is it double? Nice. I got a rod right here. It's a big fatty. Nice. That's a good hookup. Holy smokes. I'm going over the top of you. Nice. Boy, I struggled earlier this morning. I was just flogging the water, couldn't get anything. And then we got to this spot here, and I didn't even take the GoPro with me to start with because I thought, oh, I'm just going to be flogging the water. And then I had 3 fish before I knew it, so I went and got the GoPro and you saw some fish there. So I was fishing proxy today, which means I could get my limit and one other person's limit. So I was fishing for a lady who is over 65. They have to be 65 or disabled. That's something that's only available to Alaska residents. Yeah, I kind of slipped into the zone there and things started cooking. That was nice, but I'll tell you, all morning long, I was just doing horribly. And so I did get my 6 fish. Those guys are still fishing. I'm going to go up there and help them out just a little bit, see if I can get in the way, I guess. And then we'll get back on the river here in a little bit. So this is a 4-piece rod, so it goes into a little tiny case. I'm going to try to put it in there with all the line and everything still on it. I'll leave the hook out. There. it'd be nice, a one-piece rod would be great, but for in the drift boat, the nice thing about this is it'll fit underneath the seat. It's easy that way. All right, got that all put away safe. The nice thing about, when you get done, if you put everything away, then you're less likely to step on it, break it, or have something bad happen to it. We're going to save all these for halibut fishing tomorrow. Thanks for watching today, and for more Alaska adventures, don't forget to subscribe.